Now, hello again, Sophie.
Hello again.
As you can see, we're outside of the convention now, but wanted to expand more on what you said at the convention.
Yeah.
With you mentioned before about you've done work for you've been commissioned for work from work from video game companies to cosplay one of their characters.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of these things that we end up with a few times at conventions. You get talking to people, get collaborations going. I mean, I've had things where I've been speaking to artists and all sorts of artists, game developers, any sort of companies really, and I've basically been working on costumes for them. So I know one of the artists that I met at a con a few years ago. I think last year I decided to give her a surprise her with one of the costumes created by one of her designs. And basically I've been talking to another few artists to try and see if I can get that done. Got a few big collaborations with bigger companies here and there for stuff that hasn't even been released yet, so
Wow.
It's a lot of interesting stuff.
That's interesting because my research turned up quite a few, like the cosplayers are becoming a very integral part of the promotion for a lot of mediums such as comics, video games especially, with stuff like Jessica Nagri's Lollipop Chainsaw or Yaya Han with Ubisoft. So cosplayers are definitely becoming a very integral part of the promotion for all of this.
Yeah, I mean they are. It's mainly a case of, I reckon some people like the idea of bringing them sort of characters to life.
Yeah.
And by bringing those sort of characters to life in a physical way where they can be seen and interact with people, it's more likely a selling point for the game than a picture on screen, some fancy art, some fancy cinematic.
Yeah.
So it makes it more real for people, and with a lot of things with VR as well, I think it's becoming quite realistic anyway.
Yeah.
So it's kind of why it comes to a cost like that.
There's also an amazing case of like you meet these people at the conventions that you go to. You didn't expect to meet them or intend to meet them, did you?
Yeah, it's like we met when we were at one of the conventions in December last year. We ended up we were just playing the games at the event, and then we ended up talking to one of the managers, sort of community managers from the event.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically we got talking then on the lines of costumes and then possibilities of working with them and stuff. And then they always want to see our progress updates and stuff. So it's really, by talking to people, you can get a lot of things sort of done and agree to do a lot of things.
Wow.
So it's definitely worth talking to people.
Yeah. Well, you said it was very social work or hobby, but one thing I've noticed, especially in my research now, you might not like what this is, but it's like especially in regards to Comic Cons with comic artists, people who sell stuff, they've made the criticism that cosplayers, they don't contribute to the art form, like they take attention away from the stands or they don't buy anything.
It's a thing that some people can say that, but you've also got people like myself who will collaborate with the artists on these stalls. Basically, I've done it a few times with new people who do new releases on manga issues and all sorts of things where even if people don't recognise us from popular industry, it's a case of we've got the costumes from these stalls and basically we'll be like handing things out for these stalls or like get people to notice it and be like, hi, we're from this, we're promoting this, you should go and take a look. So it's basically both being supportive to stalls, but sometimes the rest of people can't see it that way because of how they see it affecting their stalls.
Yeah, because one of the interesting things in my research revealed that a lot of the some cosplayers don't buy things in costume. Considering the costumes, that makes a lot of sense.
Surprisingly, I buy more things in costume.
Oh.
That's because it's more of a confidence thing, 'cause it's like different and stuff. But again, with some of my costumes, even if I want to buy something, I can't because I've nowhere to put it.
Nowhere to put it, and bags or that kind of thing.
I hate carrying bags in my costumes.
Yeah.
So when I was on at MCM, I was trying not to have any bags, so I had absolutely nothing I needed on me all day. So no money, no phones, nothing was on me.
Yeah.
And I still ended up being given a bag to carry around. But yeah, I don't like carrying bags because they really take away from the costume.
But that's an interesting point. This perception exists, but in reality, a lot of what I've gathered is the cosplayers actually are, as we said before, a massive promotion. So it's definitely more of a good thing there than a bad thing.
Yep.
I mean, me and Matthew, when we were at MCM, we talked to the those Street Fighter cosplayers. Yeah. That's all right with the sound. We'll cut this bit out anyway. Numbskull.com. Hey, we're promoting you in our film. We got talked to several of that Street Fighter cosplayers, and they gave us business cards, and so I don't know if they were there specifically to promote their company.
We get that a few times with a lot of especially with a lot of big name things, very popular, they'll do that. Like I know in America currently, you'll have people being taken to the convention by the booths.
Yeah.
Even in the UK, I mean, at Insomnia, I believe it was the Asus booth. And basically they had artifacts and all their team all there. So Tabitha was Lions was all there with like her costume and stuff promoting their booth, streaming on their booth. It's kind of bringing two sort of communities together with the same sort of idea.
So it's definitely the age of the fan involvement, because all of this, like the meeting them at the conventions, setting up social media, all this kind of stuff would never existed 20 years ago.
Well, no, like 20 years ago, you'd have the company up here, the fan base down here.
Yeah.
The only sort of thing that went between with the money and the product.
Yeah, and the occasional convention.
Yeah.
But in today's age, it's a case where anybody who puts the time, the effort, and the money into their work can get noticed by these corporations.
Yeah, it's like what turned into now is more the people promote the games more than the games promote themselves.
Yeah, and bad word of mouth can sink, in bad products.
Yeah, so it's a case of with a game when it used to be highly based on reviews and stuff, like when all people saw that's a bad looking trailer or it doesn't look good. Now you've got the age where you can get people streaming it before it's released, so you get really high up streamers and YouTubers getting hold of the games. You have costumes being made and all sort of put on show. So you have all these things that make it look really good and make the game promote a lot easier.
And cosplay itself has become a very integral part of a lot of these social gatherings. I mean, I myself, when I went to Hyper Japan, which is it's a Japanese culture festival.
I know
there was plenty of cosplayers. I don't think they actually got a place at that convention. They didn't necessarily get a place to show off their stuff, except in the backlog area where there was a dance off going on.
Yeah, I know at the even with that event they had like a masquerade stage.
Yeah, I don't think I saw that.
That's
my fault though.
Never did I, that year actually.
Yeah. Well, you were there last year.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm there most time, but yeah. Basically, with some events, it's getting bigger and bigger. So, where we had something like Insomnia, like a few years ago, it was just a very small thing, and now each year they're expanding their thing bit by bit.
Yeah.
And they've specifically brought in costume players and organisation to set it all up and have it all decorated, and even run masquerades. It's become a massive thing.
Yeah. And some cosplayers can make quite a bit of money or popularity off it. Not necessarily.
You can do.
I'm talking about the
don't.
Nigris and the yarns, but also like for DeviantArt, I've seen, or not met, but seen several cosplayers who are towards the same position you are, but they can they get conventions can hire them, pay for their travel, that kind of thing, bring them in to show off their costumes, that kind of thing. A lot of them from like Russia, Spain, Italy.
Yeah. With that sort of thing as well, it's mainly a case of if people want the cosplayers there. So I get a lot of people who will turn around to say, oh, when are you coming over to California? When are you going to be over in Atlanta and Jordan and Spain and stuff? And it's a case of, as much as I'd love to go out there and fun to go and do that, it gets quite difficult considering I don't earn that much money.
The thing is, the conventions themselves, the convention organisers, if there's enough attention, interest, they can pay to bring you over.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a mini celebrity status, or in some cases a big celebrity status, depending on the popularity.
It's a case of, it's the sort of thing that if I was ever asked to do it, I would go for it, but it's not a thing that I'm actively saying, yes, do invite me to all your things.
Yeah. Now for the tricky question.
Oh.
Yes. Do you think then, from your experience, now you are a girl, but do you think there's more exposure for girl cosplayers than boys, at least in your experience?
With my page being a two-part page, so there's myself and partner, I'd definitely say that, because if we go out in both in duo costumes, or if I was to do something where it's just me and then there was just him, we do notice that the popularity does shift more towards the female characters.
Yeah.
Probably because of their appeal and lack of clothing and stuff. But I mean, there are some really amazing male cosplayers out there that I know of and I follow online. Yeah. But it's a case of they don't get the respect and reputation that they really should deserve, because the majority of people are more likely to go for the female costumes just because either the costumes are more appealing, the women are more appealing in more than one place. But there's definitely a rift there. It's not exactly the fairest thing in the world, but I guess it's going to keep going on with how the fan base reacts to these two things.
But it could get better. It could get worse. But...
It is getting better.
Ah.
I mean, there are a lot more male cosplayers now coming into the scene, and there are a lot more that are coming up online.
Yeah.
But with the male cosplayers that I've seen, the majority of the ones who do get the higher sort of respect and appeal is the ones that have this stuff that does really fantastic things. So props that will light up and expand, for wing sets that will completely change colour and play music. So anything that's basically... In
a weird way, it's sort of the boys have to put more effort in to get noticed. As dumb as that sounds.
That's basically how it becomes. It's a case of, I mean, even if I was to do something like that as well, it would still have the same sort of effect as it would as they would. Yeah. But it's definitely a case of men do seem to have to put more effort in to get more attention, which is really weird because some male cosplayers are really good. Yeah. I mean, I like me male cosplayers.
You know what they say in the media, sex sells. And
yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much for your time, Sophie.
Right, no problem. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
And, cut.